Hello, and welcome to another tantalising episode of Landmark Beta with me, Binage. So I've started us off in an unusual place because I'm gathering at the moment. There's a story behind that which I may tell you later. But as you can see, the sun is setting in the east, and there was something that I wanted to show you out here, pertaining to the most recent patch. Before I lost the light, and I'm fast losing the light, so let's get on with it. It relates to this biome right here, which is tundra, and previously there was a lot of ice here, a lot, but now if I take a quick dig, you'll see only the top few voxels are ice or snow, and then it turns into dirt. Now what people used to be able to do is create ice caves and other magnificent structures made of ice. Now ice was in fact a preferred building material for some because of the colour of it. Unfortunately, now that it's become quite look around, it's not rare, but if you're harvesting in real bulk, then whereas before you could just pretty much dig down, now you have to dig along. It's aesthetically, for people who have built ice caves, it's a nightmare, because what they're having to do now is they have a brown hole in the ground, whereas before they had a shimmery ice cave. Now they have dirt. So what they're having to do is paint the interior of the builds with harvested ice, which, it's doable, but I don't know. It's a shame on some levels that we've lost that whole sort of burrowing into the ice thing, because that actually used to be a really nice aesthetic, and there's just dirt everywhere. On the other hand, I don't think it's game changing. It just means that people who want to build an ice are going to have to spend more time harvesting the stuff. Welcome to my world. That sounds terribly unsympathetic, and it's actually not meant to, but anybody who builds with anything else has to harvest the stuff. Stone, oddly, is the same. If you're harvesting stone, so let's go up to, look, it's a rocky outcropping, and if I dig into it to get to the stone, oh look, dirt. So really, people who build in dirt and stone have been in the same position as the people who are building in ice now, for ages. And although geologically it makes zero sense, there should be it should be reversed. There should be a thin-ish layer of dirt on the top with a base layer of stone. Ice, there's glaciers. There's all sorts of arguments for different thicknesses of material, very few of which suggest a universal. What is that? 3-4 voxel deep, and then the world is made of dirt. That doesn't make any sense. But it's beta. Things change. Hopefully they will. Hopefully there'll be more variation, and hopefully the world won't be made of dirt, because that would be something of a shame. Anyway, I'm going to gather a little bit more obsidian, which was around here. So there it is. Gather a little bit more obsidian, and then I'll meet you back at the cottage. So, bye, and welcome back. Right, having had my little rant-out about ice, I thought I might talk about some of the other things that have happened in recent patch. One of them being glass. We now have glass to put in our windows. Now, as you can see, just about maybe, they are, well, they're really just sort of slightly white stained transparent blocks. They're thin, which is good. They're sort of a natural. Oh, actually, I don't know. I think that yes, they are. They must be thin. About the size of a sort of largish microvoxel, and they come in 3 different sizes. But they're all essentially they're borderless semi. Oh, no, they're not semi-transparent. They're completely transparent, aren't they? Yes. They're just sheets of glass. One thing that they don't do, which is something of a shame, and which actually makes it quite difficult to see that they're there, is they don't reflect. They're very matte. They have a matte finish. There's just this sort of ever so slight frosting, which allows you to see that that there's glass in there at all. But it's only just been introduced, and it would, I think, be churlish of me to be overly critical of it. They did say they were going to introduce a simple prop first, which they have done. Next stage may be craftable glass that's not a prop, and that would be interesting to see. Another thing they've done, which actually has a connection to this dressing screen here. So I think yes. I don't know if you recall me talking about zero data voxels at all, and how they can be used to inlay things. If I haven't spoken about it before, there's loads of videos on zero data voxels if you're interested in finding out about them. People can explain it far better than I can. But anyway, what they've done is they've actually put it in game. But there's a problem. While the in-game zero data voxel works perfectly well for full blocks, or appears to, for full voxels, it doesn't play at all well with microvoxels or antivoxels. And if I give you an example, and I tell you, this ruined my life for a bit. I thought I was going mad. So let's import a prop. I'll be getting rid of it fairly soon. Decorative screen. There we go. Which you've just seen upstairs. So if I place it there, let me see, get it into position. Right now, you only get the include or exclude air option when you enter tweak mode. And to enter tweak mode, when you're in a position like this, either with templates or with cutting and pasting something, you just press Shift and then click to place, and you get into this what they call tweak mode. It allows you to have much finer control over where you're putting things, and also it allows you to move around without your selected area moving as well. So yeah, I pretty much always use tweak mode now when I'm placing something. Again, it's when you've got that up, when you've got the sort of previous paste thing up, just Shift and click at the same time, and you get this. And here you see the new dialog option, paste air. Now if you choose to paste air, then it includes the empty voxels around what you're placing. So if I go up here, you'll see it's a slightly zigzaggy pattern. So the space, the empty space in between the zigzags, if you like, is taken up with air voxels. Air voxels don't have any substance as such, but if they're included, what they'll do is they'll take away the anything sort of intervening. So actually what I'll do is I'll sink it down. So there we go, we've sunk it into the floor somewhat. Now if we include paste air, which is, and this is the old way of doing it, the old way would by default paste the air, and you had to go through a fairly complicated rigmarole in order to exclude air voxels. But let's just do that, and what we see is that it's included the air around the frame, around the object itself. It's included the empty space and pasted the empty space in. This is a pain when you're trying to do things like inlaid floors and what have you. So people found a workaround that is too complicated to go into here. I'm not doing a tutorial. But if we look at what the new thing gives you, now what this will do is it will both demonstrate how it's good and also how it's broken with microvoxels. This is made entirely of microvoxels with antivoxel feet at the bottom. So if we untick paste air and then tick yes, it hasn't done it. They've fixed it. Ah, fantastic. At least I think they may have fixed it. So anyway, here you go. What they've done, if you don't paste the air, any empty space is regarded as empty space, and therefore it doesn't interrupt anything else that you have laid down, which is superb. Now let's undo those with Control Z. Hello, we have a Christopher. I wonder if he's coming in or just chopping wood. Could be either. Now let's try and do this. Okay, so we're not pasting air. Nope, they've fixed the bug. That's excellent. Right. I was going to. It used to distort the. It used to distort the object that you placed. Now it doesn't, so that's brilliant. Right, I have something that I'm going to work on, which is, if you remember, actually let me just run down there. I'm going to very rudely ignore Christopher. I'll get back to him in a bit. So let's just run down here. So I want to show you what I'm going to work on today before I come back to you. So the tunnel's all done, but this end platform here is very bare, very rocky, and I quite like to prettify it up a bit. So yeah, gonna work on that, and in the meantime I shall have a chat with Christopher and see, give him a guided tour if he wants one. So I'll see you in a bit. Bye, and welcome back. So there has been some work done. Initially I made 2 benches. Well, I made 1 bench and then copied it. Little table with a picture. Oh gosh, I've got my boots of speed on, haven't I? Also, I'm zoomed in. Sorry, there we are. Made a bucket, stuffed it full of flowers. But the thing that took the most time was the wrought iron work, which I like very much. It appears to be that and melty furniture appears to be the signature of this claim. Normally, as you've seen upstairs, I would have stuffed some gemstones in the gaps just to make it look stained glassy. But a stained glass platform struck me as being, I don't know, odd. So I could put wood in there. I could probably shove wood in there without actually breaking this pattern. But I quite like the pattern. Sorry, I quite like the fact that it's see-through. and it's kind of like a wrought iron gate, and also kind of distressed, as though it's somehow decayed and nature has taken over, which, yeah, I like. I think that fits the flavour of the build, rather than anything too clean. So, yeah, that's what I've done. Nothing much else to report, really, other than I've skipped possibly the most important addition this patch that we've had, and that is, if you look in the bottom right-hand part of the screen, you will see a compass. Yes, we now know which way is north and which way is south, which is great, except that I think the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, which is kind of odd. Something I discovered earlier. But yeah, so that, I mean, that's good. It's useful. It stops you going around in circles quite as much as you used to. Although, you know, it's me. So what it actually means is that I look at the map less than I did before, and end up going in circles again. So it hardly makes any difference to me at all. But it's kind of nice to have it there. So that's it. I think that's it for this week, and it leaves only for me to say goodbye, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed, do please leave a comment and or subscribe, and if you liked it, leave a like on the YouTube, and if you didn't like it, leave a dislike and possibly a comment telling me why you didn't like it. That would be useful. Anyway, until next time, take care, and bye-bye.